If I'm looking a bit bleary, it's because, well, not because of this specifically, but this year marks the 30th anniversary of Free the Bears. It's an Aussie charity looking to end the illegal wildlife trade that sees many bears spend their lives locked up in cages. And in a bid to raise money, I, last night, spent the entire evening in a cage of my own. A short walk from Hobart's centre, this forgotten zoo tells a story of past captivity.
In 1936, the last Tasmanian tiger in captivity died at the Hobart Zoo.
A year later, the Beaumaris Zoo shut down. Today, this is one of the few relics that still stands, the leopard enclosure. Well, this is obviously haunted. Home of the last thylacine. Here we go. What a place to spend the night. Oh my gosh, this is it. What have I said yes to? This will be terrifying and cold and uncomfortable, but I guess that's the point. Yep, that is concrete and that is cold. And this is where I'm going to be spending the night. Now, this isn't just a stunt, this is me sending a message, because elsewhere in the world, this is how bears are spending not just the night, but their entire lives. And they aren't trapped just by steel, but by a lucrative market that cashes in on their pain. Bear bile farming is the practice of removing bile from captive bears' gallbladders to be used in traditional Chinese medicine. It's a painful process that's been banned in Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia, but even in 2025, it still takes place. Free the Bears rescues bears from bile farming and illegal trade across Southeast Asia and rehabilitates them. Last year, we brought you this story.
We strongly suspect that the person behind the purchase of all of these cubs was looking at setting up a new bear bile farm in Laos, which frankly would have been devastating.
A year later, and these cuties are thriving.
As you can see, they're growing fast, enjoying their best lives. They've graduated from the cub nursery into one of our stage 2 nursery facilities. And right now we've got our construction teams working on building them beautiful new homes.
But back here is a different story. It is cold, the floor is hard, the wind coming through is unbearable, pun intended. But I'm going to stick it out anyway. Like many other Aussies, I will be taking part in my night in a cage to support the wonderful work done by Free the Bears. So, good night.
This year is particularly meaningful because a few weeks ago we emptied these cages right here from Laos' very first bear bile farm. And today we're removing the cages to make sure that no bear ever has to stay in these cages again.
Okay, so it's the middle of the night. Every sound is terrifying. And I know I could be at home in my very comfortable bed, but instead I'm here feeling very scared and vulnerable and alone. But I guess that's kind of the point.
I did get a couple of hours sleep at one point, but I do think my pillow was trying to kill me. The sun is up, it is morning, meaning I've officially spent the night in a cage. I did it, I did it! It was cold, it was uncomfortable, my pillow was way too inflated for some reason, but all of that pales in comparison to the conditions that bears in Southeast Asia are being put through in bile farms and through the illegal wildlife trade. So, does this make me a better person than you? Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It kind of does.
Just a lot more tired than most. Thank you to the Beaumaris Zoo on Muwinina country for having me in Hobart.
Did you seriously get any sleep at all?
I was talking to one of the editors today because they were filming me all night. I was like, I'm sorry you had to sift through all that footage. He said it was 4 hours.
Yeah, so no.
So not really, no. It was rough, but again, that's the message we're trying to send.
Yeah.
And people have been donating to my Night in a Cage page, Night in a Cage 2025. Look for me there.
And they can still donate.
Still donate, absolutely. Those bears that we saw that were rescued last year, those 16, it takes about 50 grand to house them, feed them for the year, and that's what we're hoping to raise this year. So please, anything you can donate would be tremendous. So thank you very much to everybody who took part. Details on our website if you want more info on Free the Bears
and how to sponsor me. And take part in it next year yourself.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
One fact that you told us that's really stuck with me is that for a lot of these bears, the first time that they've ever felt grass is as soon as they get out of those cages.
Yeah.
So have a think about that if you are able to donate. It is such a worthy
And the most
well
latest
done.
rescue could be happening as we speak with a bear that's been in a cage for 5 years. So
Well
hopefully
done.
that will end up being a good news story.
So great, Rove.